compliance ambassadors will visit 2% of the city's businesses, or about 300 businesses per day, every day, to ensure that they are following the governor's recent directive. Now, this is from Governor Sisolak's office. I'll read it to you. It says, compliance ambassadors, basically compliance officers, police officers, and health officials, are not enforcing the directive. They are observing behaviors. They're spying on you. They're observing behaviors, and they're verifying whether violations are occurring. If there is an enforcement action that needs to be taken, that will be done by a business license officer. The compliance ambassadors are existing city employees. They are not new hires or newly added positions. These employees have been reassigned to the ambassadors program temporarily from their normal department. These ambassadors have been trained to identify whether any violations of the directive are occurring and to educate the business owners. If these ambassadors observe a clear violation of the directive, they will refer that to a business license officer who will then visit the business and address the violation. Business license officers have the ability to write citations and issue fines, and I'm sure they have the ability to revoke licensure. I think that these business license officers could suspend licenses if people are not in compliance and they're trying to make money. Now, I'm sure there are many lists that are going to be made of these violators, along with more robocalls warning people they should stay in their homes and just deal with it. You know, it's funny. There was an interview that was done with Anthony Fauci, and they were asking him, how is it that we're going to be dealing with this? And Fauci was saying something like, well, we're not like England, we're not like France, we're not like these other countries. This is what he had to say. It was pretty direct.
So are there countries now that hold up as models for, pretty good response to this?
The answer is yes, but right now it seems that every country is suffering. Yeah. We are often compared with countries that are not comparable to us. Well, I understand that, but now is the time to do what you're told. And I think it really is something that we should be doing right now.
Now is the time to do what you're told. Governor DeWine of Ohio has basically issued curfew times, divided his state up in regions, 1, 2, and 3, health regions, and has basically said that if you violate any of these mandates, you could get 90 days in jail or a $750 fine. Governor Ralph Northam of Virginia announced new restrictions that he put into play last Sunday. He said all public and private in-person gatherings are now limited to just 25 individuals, down from the current cap of 250 people, again like Vegas. This includes both outdoor and indoor settings. Neither restaurants nor schools will be subject to the new 25-person limit. At high school sporting events, that 25-person limit applies to spectators, not participants. All Virginians ages 5 and over are required to wear face coverings in indoor public spaces. All Virginians ages 5 and over are required to wear masks. This expands the current mask mandate, which only required all individuals aged 10 and over to wear face coverings in indoor public settings. All essential retail businesses, including grocery stores and pharmacies, must adhere to statewide guidance or statewide guidelines for physical distancing, wearing face coverings, and enhanced cleaning. While certain essential retail businesses have been required to adhere to these regulations as best practice, violations will now be enforceable through the Virginia Department of Health as a Class 1 misdemeanor. The on-site sale, consumption, and possession of alcohol is prohibited after 10 p.m. in any restaurant, dining establishment, food court, brewery, microbrewery, distillery, winery, or tasting room. All restaurants, dining establishments, food courts, breweries, microbreweries, distilleries, wineries, and tasting rooms must close by midnight. Virginia law does not distinguish between restaurants and bars. However, under current restrictions, individuals that choose to consume alcohol prior to 10 p.m. must be served as in a restaurant and remain seated at tables that are 6 feet apart. This will be enforced by law and health officials. So that's just some of the mandates are being held. I mean, I was just looking at what Phil Murphy in New Jersey is doing. He's discouraging Thanksgiving dinners. The New Jersey Health Department said that there will be restrictions, including not limiting contact with no hugs, no handshakes, No loud talking, no singing.
I want to believe.
Health officials warn that can spread airborne particles, especially if you're trying to shout over a crowd
Listen
of
to
loud
this show
music.
and many more.
Baby got her head down to the ground, looking for a stranger, looking for a stranger to love. You gotta touch your eyes and cross your teeth. Gotta let go and come with me. Looking for a stranger, looking for a stranger to love. You say you want it, but you can't get it in you. You got yourself a bad habit for it. Well, look at you, walking up and down the hall. I say, please set me. You say you want it, but you can't get it in you. You got yourself a bad habit for it. Well, look at you, walking up and down the hall. I say, please, oh man, oh man.
Yeah.
You know I wish I had it
Which trash? I'm not sure. You mean Clyde Lewis? Well, he's broadcasting what's going on up in Oregon right now. So most of these places are, I guess, a bunch of people got a phone call today where there was a robocall that went out telling people to stay in their house, telling people to be safe or whatever. So, yeah, I'm checking in with it. Aftermath.fm is a new network. And we've been asked to come on there. So, I'm checking it out and seeing what's up. And as far as Clyde goes, I met Clyde down at Contact in the Desert. And so, I know Clyde and Ron. And, yeah, well, I don't know. Well, that'll remain to be seen, man. So, I think people are gonna have a big shit sandwich coming to them pretty soon. All the people that talked a bunch of shit, they're gonna eat a lot of their words coming up because it's not gonna be a joke in the next couple of months. That's just my opinion. You can do what you want, but I would definitely go take a look at what's going on over at El Paso if you haven't looked at it. There's something going on over there. I'm not sure what, but they're definitely whipping up the fear, man. So I'm not sure. We'll see. First thing you got to get through is the election. It doesn't look like people are gonna get their wish. I didn't see any big revelations coming out today about these servers that they supposedly confiscated with Trump's 410 electoral votes. If he had that thing dead locked down, he would have came out and said something. He haven't said anything. And what I do see is Mitch McConnell coming out and saying that the transition will go as normal. And I also see this other cat fist bumping Kamala Harris in the Senate or whatever in Congress. So I think there's going to be a reckoning in another couple of months with a lot of this nonsense that's been talked by a bunch of people. That's why, the alternative media for the most part pretty much stayed, no left-right paradigm. But it seems like people got stuck back in the paradigm scene, and now because of that, they're going to have to eat their words, I think. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll eat my words. But we'll see. Who the hell knows what the hell's going on around here? Hang on a second. I hear Rio is knocking on my door. Let me see if Rio's around, and we'll ditch Clyde and do some live broadcasting. Hang on a second. Let me find something. Let me see if I can get away with this for a bit. Hang on, Danny. See if I can get away with this. I gotta mute it up because there's a fucking commercial, man. These guys are out of their minds with these commercials. Hang on. All right, I'll give him a second to respond. Oh, man, what is this dude doing? He's got this bow flex. Why don't you just get a real bow, dude? I mean, why have a fake bow? Why don't you get a real bow, pull it back, learn how to shoot it?
Nobody gonna take my car, I'm gonna race into the ground. Nobody gonna beat my car, it's gonna break the speeding sound. Oh, it's a killing machine, it's got everything. I can drive the power, big fat tires and everything. I love it, and I need it, I feel it. Yeah, it's a wild hurricane. Alright, hold tight. I'm a highway star. Nobody gonna take my girl, I'm gonna keep her to the end. Nobody gonna have my girl, she stays close on everything. Oh, she's a killing machine, she got everything. Like a moving mouth, body control and everything. I love her, I need her, I see her. Yeah, she turns me on. Alright, hold tight. I'm a highway star. Sick feet full, sleep in the kitchen with a pizza at the door. But my gal is red hot, your gal ain't doodle squat. Yeah, my gal is red hot, your gal ain't doodle squat. Well, she ain't got money, but man, she's really got a lot. Oh, go cat. Well, she walks all night, talks all day. She the kind of woman gotta have her way. But my gal is red hot, your gal ain't doodle squat. Yeah, my gal is red hot, your gal ain't doodle squat. Well, she ain't got money, but man, she's really got a lot.
Doodly squat. So I was doing a little Clyde Lewis listening party. See what's going on. Apparently people are getting phone calls telling them to stay home, Rhea. Stay home. Don't go out. That's dangerous.
Yeah. Stay home, my butt.
Did you get a call?
No. I don't answer unknown numbers, so if they're not my phone, they don't get picked up.
Yeah, I didn't get a call. But, dude, I was, earlier, I was doing a broadcast because I was going through some material, and I landed on a couple of, landed on some Manson interviews that are really not really nobody really picked over them too well. And I found some material, interesting material, and made some notes on time frames. We found something that there's definitely, he's speaking in reverse and he's yelling, and forwards. When I say we, I mean me in the chat room. I was here by myself. But I was playing the videos and just going over everything. So the video that I just did, that's on here, it's got all the tape on there. And a bunch of times I was stopping it and then letting it play and stopping it and letting it play to break it up because he talks so fast. So we'll see what happens. Might be able to get some good shit out of it.
Definitely. I mean, he's known to have done that, so he's known proficient.
Yeah, well, he's known that he's done that because me and Epic were the ones that fucking exposed it. I mean, we caught him talking backwards in the interview, and then he did it backwards. That was that whole thing we were trying to play the other night, except we never really got it going.
Yeah, so that video I just sent you is all about the. Somebody sent that to me earlier. It's about an hour long, so I don't know if you're gonna play it.
Well, what is it?
It's about the whole election fraud and the upcoming lawsuits, and this guy apparently has some inside line. You know, I asked my friend if he was legit, and he said, "Yeah, he's been accurate so far." So there's apparently some very heavy stuff going to come down the line. Guess they have all the proof they need to supposedly jail a lot of people for election fraud from the top down. From senators, governors, poll workers, everybody.
Yeah, well, that'll remain to be seen. I mean, I've known about these supposed servers that got confiscated. We talked about it, I think, before anybody did, and I didn't really talk about it too much because I wasn't really solid on it. And then,
yeah, well, I'm not 100% solid on it either. It's one of those, it does remain to be seen.
Well, yeah, so
this guy had a lot of good information, and it's at least intriguing to hear it even if you don't buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. But I was going to finish saying is I just got finished talking about this whole thing where people are trying to say that Trump's got 410 electoral votes. He won by a landslide. We won all the states and all this, but there's no proof of any of this shit in any courts in America, and he's lost 25 cases so far. Mitch McConnell said today the transition would happen not like it normally does. Nothing would go up. What's his face is like fist bumping Kamala Harris. And so today, Rudy Giuliani was supposed to come out and have some big fucking bombshell he was going to drop. And so far, there hasn't been shit. There's this lady coming out going to release the Kraken and all this noise. And so far, there hasn't been anything. And I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are repeating it. And they're saying, "Oh, yeah, Trump's going to win," and I don't know, dude.
I don't know. It
remains
to be seen.
I don't know.
I kind of wonder about it myself.
This fucking this country will go up in flames, dude. And then it'll go up in flames, and the second phase of the killer virus will come at the same time.
If they wait that long.
Yeah, I think the killer virus comes before the decision gets made, so everybody's already in the house. See? Once everybody's already locked down, they can control it because their streets are empty. But until they get everybody back in the house, they're not going to say who won. I guarantee it. I guarantee it'll be locked down before they admit who won. Especially if it's him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's... It's it's like skating on thin ice right now. You gotta be real careful what you listen to, what you believe. Because it could go either way. You could be all right and get to the other side of the pond, or you could go falling through at any given moment.
I know.
nobody really knows. I mean, it'd be great if they locked up all these people for fraud and whatever. I mean, you know it's out there, and you know there's people who deserve to go to jail. But will it actually happen? Maybe, maybe not.
I think this shit's all a fucking fantasy, dude. I
I
think
know.
even if
But,
Trump,
there are people out there who need to get locked up.
there's no question. I mean, but I'm just saying,
Hillary should be locked up, and that hasn't happened yet. So
it ain't ever gonna happen.
I don't think so either. But,
None of it's. That's
that
what
doesn't
I mean.
mean she don't deserve it.
That's what I mean. Even right now, they got everybody kicking back in the house. Just hang on, man. Q's in there. He's gonna help. He's gonna help you guys win. He's gonna help everybody with the steal, and people are still waiting. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I was kind of hopeful in the beginning for Q, but as time has worn on, I've kind of pretty much lost all faith in anything Q has to say. It's all nonsense.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. It's like
there might be some real information in there, but I don't see the plan coming to fruition.
There's no plan. There is no plan, dude.
I know. That's my point.
Yeah, there's no plan. That's not to say that people learning about shit in the Q forums and all that, learning all these new things. I read schematics, Bernays, so does Rio, so does Epic. It's not bad for people to learn about stuff, but the people that's sitting around thinking there's some guy who's out there, fighting for us or whatever, it's a fucking fantasy. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news on that one.
No, it's what's the polite way to put it? There's the part of your body you sit on, there's a left cheek and a right cheek, and they're still attached to the same hole.
That's true, and everybody's got one, just like an excuse or
it's left wing, right wing, left cheek, right cheek. What do you want to call it? They're all a bunch of asses. Can I say that on YouTube, or is the Google moderator system going to plug me again?
No, you can say whatever you want, because we are adults only. But yeah, no. So I'm really mostly concerned right now. What I'm concerned about is the virus, because it's to the point where now everybody across the world is saying it's fake and all this, and all these people, the continual chatter on all the alternative media about how fake it is and all this.
The bug itself is real. The nonsense to millions of people are dying in the streets, that's all nonsense.
Well, but that's the thing, is that's how it was, but that's not how it is, and that's not necessarily how it's gonna be.
That's not how it's gonna be, because once they get everybody all good and scared up and fearing the corona and got you locked down with your mask on in your car, then next thing you know, there is actually a really deadly bug out there, and they're going, "See, I told you so. It's all Trump's fault because he didn't lock down the country fast enough."
That's what's gonna happen, man. And the thing is, man, and I'm not stoked on the whole scene. I've been in this fucking situation for 9 months now, and life. The only thing that goes on is anything that goes on here at the house is what's going on. The only time that anybody goes out is just to go out and buy shit. That's it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I don't want to exist to fucking go take my my universal income down and spend it back into the system so the system can keep going. Meanwhile, I'm living in my house in fucking house arrest. I mean, you're like on work release program because I can't work because my thing's shut off. But
that's the funny part about this whole thing is my day-to-day life. Because I technically I'm an independent contractor, so I don't have to answer to anybody. And, I'm kind of a self-imposed hermit. I've gotten to the point where I don't really like dealing with people in public because 90% of them are stupid. So, the lockdown itself, it's kind of slowed me down a little bit. Like, I can't occasionally go to the bar, or I can't, you got to put your mask on to buy groceries. So there's some mild inconveniences. But all in all, in my situation, my life hasn't changed.
No, but the thing that has
But
changed, your life hasn't. Your life doesn't seem like it's changed, but it has changed in the sense that you can't just do what you want to fucking do like you used to do anymore. You can't. I mean,
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The only saving grace for me is that doing what I want to do, is very much in line with the whole situation. And I know that's not the case for a lot of people. I'm the kind of guy now. I come home from work. I like to, have some dinner, put my feet up,
yeah, but the difference is now.
relax.
The difference is now, dude, is that
Now it's not by
you
my
don't
choice.
have a choice to fucking do what you. I mean, before you could waste your life away not going anywhere and doing anything and not seeing anybody or talking to anybody or doing anything and sit there and waste your life away because someday you're going to do something. Someday I'm going to go on vacation. Someday I'm going to, blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
well,
blah.
that's a point of contention with me is the whole travel situation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So there ain't no more some days, man. I mean, now
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't, you can't, now you're doing what you always did. The only difference is you don't have, there ain't no,
It's not my option to do what I want to do.
it's not
Yeah.
your somedays not coming, dude. That's the thing for anybody. We can't plan a someday, I mean, fuck,
Yeah,
man.
because
Epics,
I mean,
epics.
I'm trying to figure out what to do for my holiday vacation this year because there's a very good chance that I won't be able to go just because Governor Murphy says no.
Well, see, look, Epic's got a place over in Hawaii, man. You and I could go over there and visit him, right? I mean, if it was everything was normal, I mean, we could get a
just
flight. We
go-
could get a flight
go
over
hop
there.
a plane and get wherever we want.
That's what I mean. And so, like, all the time we put it off and procrastinated it and said, I'll do it when such and such and blah blah blah. And then now there ain't gonna be no such and such and blah blah blah. Now it may just be, I don't want to have to think. I mean, it's like literally, it's like being in prison, dude. And I mean, and I'm not saying that it's like being in prison for real, but I just mean it's a gilded cage, man. You might be in your house, have all your shit, your stereo and everything, and you're in.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my point. Is I'm isolationist by choice, but I want to be able to go over to my friend's house when he's having a barbecue and not have to wear my mask and be told that there's more than 10 people at the barbecue, you're all in trouble and all going to get fined and all going to go to jail or whatever whatever their next stage of this nonsense is. That's the part that's scary is it, like I said, it hasn't really affected me a whole lot, but I know it affects a lot of people a lot. And,
Dude, I'm just like you.
It's by choice that I don't go out too much, not by mandate, and the fact that they want to make it by mandate kind of really pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm 10 minutes from the ocean.
Yeah, no beach for you.
But they got all the parking lots closed off. You can't even really go anywhere. I mean, if you want to go up the coast, you can go up the coast. But I don't want to go someplace where I'm all by myself. I'm trying to get away from being by myself. In a way, I mean, the thing is, I don't necessarily, it's like you can't even go to the coffee house and just sit there, You go to the coffee house, sit there with my fucking mask on, and you can't talk to nobody. I mean, what the
Governor Murphy over here in New Jersey just poo-pooed Thanksgiving. You can have whatever your resident family is. So say you're 2, 3, 4 people in your home. You can have no more than 3 guests come to your house for Thanksgiving. So if you're a family of 4, you can have 7 people in your home for Thanksgiving. But at no time, no more than 10.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. I know, man. Danny's over there. I know, Danny. It's not a matter.
I know. I know,
the
Danny.
thing
It's
is-
not like they're going to be, raiding somebody who's got 11 people in their house for Thanksgiving dinner. But, just the point that they even come out and say something like that
The
is.
thing is that it's the fucking overwhelming feeling that every time I go out, I gotta have to battle somebody over my rights or my freedoms. I don't want to sit there and have to fucking argue with some cop and get, tasered and beaten or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all because you won't put a piece of diaper on your face.
or whatever, man, or don't try to park by the beach or whatever it is, man. It's like, even if you go there, man, you have this feeling of, you know, something's fucking hanging on your neck. You know, it's like any minute some fucker's gonna come around and say something. You know, like you're like you're doing something wrong by just being somewhere, man. It's like, hey, man,
you're not. What's the term? You know, you're not a brain dead robot. You're actually being a human. You know, that's not allowed anymore. You can't be your own individual human. You have to just be sedate, do what you're told, obey, consume.
What are you doing over there? What do you mean you're just sitting there? No, you're going to have to move on. Sorry, we don't have any of that here.
Yeah, no fresh air for you. No sunshine for you. No dip your toes in the ocean this week.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, you know.
Well, there was no ocean all summer for anybody except people that lived here. Towards the end of the summer, you know, but for the most part, it was dead. Everybody lost their, you know, because people make their money off people coming here.
Oh, but you know what freedom we do have? If you want to go out and burn down your neighbor's business, grab 50 of your closest friends and go have a blast. That's the freedom we do have.
That's true.
Go riot in the streets. Nobody's going to bother you. Go to the beach. You're going to get arrested.
Everybody's free. Oh, God.
Am I being a little like grumpy and cynical tonight or what?
I don't know, man.
I'm kind of in that mood. I'm just kind of irritated at the whole situation.
You know, I'm to the point, man, where I've had enough of this shit, and they're starting to talk about more lockdowns here in California. And there's a whole bunch of shit going on in Texas. There's like a whole thing going on there. So I don't know what to think. They're gonna.
I was just talking to my mom. She don't know nothing about it down there.
Well, I could send you a news report. I could play the news report right now if you want. Let me do it. Here, give me a second.
Everybody's free to feel good. Everybody's free to feel good. Everybody's free to feel good. Everybody's free. Together we'll make it through. Someday a spirit will lift you and take you down. I know you've been hurting, but I'll be there waiting to be there for you. And I'll be there just helping you out whenever I can. Come, everybody's free.
So are the number of deaths, 15 reported today, increasing this week's death toll to 90. New at 10, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office tells ABC7 inmates are helping the El Paso County Medical Examiner's Office to move bodies into mobile morgues. ABC7's Brianna Chavez joins us live. And Brianna, how long has this been happening?
Well, Kate, a spokesman for the El Paso County Sheriff's Office tells me that this has been going on for just a little less than a week. Now, we know that hospital staff all across the borderland are overwhelmed, including at University Medical right behind me. But the county judge is telling me tonight that personnel at the medical examiner's office just a couple of yards away are also exhausted. Now, a warning, some of the images that you're about to see may be disturbing for some.
It's a temporary opportunity for us to give lend a hand, helping hand to how exhausted some of our personnel and staff are at the medical examiner's office.
The El Paso County Sheriff's Office and El Paso County Judge Ricardo Samaniego tell ABC7 trustee inmates from the county jail are helping the medical examiner's office on a volunteer basis. This video sent by a viewer who asked to remain anonymous shows inmates moving bodies into the mobile morgues.
We're shorthanded. People are really tired. Nurses, doctors are tired. And it was our way. It's very, it's a very secure process. These are trustees, not any type of inmate.
Trustees are inmates with good behavior and Class C misdemeanors. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office says 4 to 8 inmates have been assisting every day for 8 hours since Monday, accompanied by 1 deputy and 2 detention officers. A spokeswoman for the department says each inmate is given personal protective equipment while they work and a stipend of $2 an hour. County Judge Samaniego says this is only temporary. The Texas National Guard is expected to come and step in.
Things still go on. People die that have nothing to do with COVID, that are in automobile accidents, and life goes on. As on top of that, they have these issues. Same thing for the hospitals. People don't realize that still people are having heart attacks, going into the hospitals, and we have the COVID situation burdening that process.
And there's still no word yet on when the Texas National Guard is expected to come and step in. But the county judge also telling me tonight that there are 145 bodies currently at the medical examiner's office. That includes the regular morgue and the mobile morgues. And there are currently 5 mobile morgues being used right now. For now, reporting live in Central El Paso, Brianna Chavez, ABC 7.
a plane at the airport?
No, she said she was jet lagged.
The average person touches their face 3 to 5 times every waking minute. In between, we're touching doorknobs, water fountains, and each other.
Beth! No, go up to your room, honey. So we have a virus with no treatment protocol and no vaccine at this time.
You had a seizure this morning, Beth.
She had a history of seizures,
No.
allergies.
As of last night, there were 32 cases.
Unfortunately, she did die.
Right. So can I go talk to her?
Mr. Armoff, your wife is dead.
What are you talking about? What happened to her? What happened to her?
Is there any way someone could weaponize the bird flu? Is that what we're looking at?
Someone doesn't have to weaponize the bird flu. The birds are doing that.
Watch this. It's transmission, so we just need to know which direction.
On day 1, there were 2 people, and then 4, and then 16. In 3 months, it's 1 billion. That's where we're headed.
They're calling out the National Guard. They're moving the president underground. People will panic. Get away! It will tip over.
The truth is being kept from the world.
Cook your samples, destroy everything. I need you to get me the names of everyone who serviced this room. It's an emergency.
Can't panic now. I'm gonna get you home. I got people too, Dr. Cheever. We all do.
Don't talk to anyone. Don't touch anyone. Stay away from other people.
Get back in your car. We're not sick.
It's figuring us out faster than we're figuring it out. It's mutating.
There it is, dude. Along with some other stuff. So much stuff has gone by, you forgot about the news report already.
No, well, my thought on that news report is that footage looked unusually high quality for a cell phone video, even if they have the new iPhone 12 Pro Max with the best camera system ever. That's one thing, and they're telling you that's what's going on in Texas, and they're telling me that's what's going on in Texas, and they're telling the people in Texas that's what's going on here in New York, and they're telling,
I'm not hearing about that.
Is it real or is it propaganda?
Well, I'm not hearing about.
That's where I go with it.
I'm not hearing about it going on anywhere but there, and I am also, but I am also hearing that South Dakota, North Dakota. Some of these places, and these are places that freedom lovers live or go to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just said I was literally talking to my mom, just before I came on the air, and she's heard nothing of this stuff going on in Texas, but she asked me what was going on up here in New York because apparently she heard things are getting really, really bad up here. And other
that's
than
interesting, man.
The government lockdowns, I haven't really seen overflowing hospitals or lines of hearses traveling down the highway or anything like that. And I haven't heard of anything either. So, is it propaganda? That's what they're telling people in Texas, that New York is all messed up, and telling people in New York that Texas is all messed up. It really kind of makes you wonder because, not saying that there aren't things going on out there, because I'm sure there are, but, they got to notch the fear up another level. So why not make it, for all you know, those prison people have been working that job for the last 10 years like that, just cleaning the hospital or whatever. And okay, so they help move a body out. Did that guy have a heart attack or did he die from COVID?
Well, the thing was, is like in the heat of the moment during the main portion of what we've been going through, there was a whole bunch of that going on in New York where they were showing videos and they were using prisoners to dig graves and all this shit. And, it turned out that most of that it was blown out of proportion or whatever.
Oh, yeah, big time. I saw a news report that said, the local hospital in my town was overflowing with bodies. They couldn't fit any more in. It was filled to capacity, and they were turning people away and this and that and the other thing. And, I know people who work there. I used to work there many, many years ago. And I said, really, what's going on? Is the hospital that crowded? She says, oh, it's a little heavy, but nothing really not as bad as we've seen it during other things. Yeah. And I said, so you don't have bodies piling up in the ER that need to go into freezer trucks or anything? She's like, no, not at all.
See, I got into a bunch of discussions about this when it was happening. And the thing is like a lot of those situations, number one, if it's a private hospital, that hospital ain't going to be full. County hospitals would be the ones that would be full to the brim. And secondly, they showed videos of dummies and stuff. They're like, look they're using dummies. It's all fake. And I was like, man, get a fucking grip. Do you realize that, not everybody in the world knows how to, put a ventilator down somebody's throat?
Well,
so they bring in these dummies and train people how to put the ventilators in without doing it on real people. And then somebody catches a video of that, and then they put it out on the internet like it's fake. But the thing is, man, people got to use a little bit of fucking common sense, man, don't you think?
Well, that's, but that's like, they were showing, I don't know if it was CNN or one of the news channels was showing this video of, the full hospital ward with all these sick and dying old people. And, and it was supposed to be like Queens Medical Center in New York City. And it turns out that it wasn't Queens Medical Center. It was some old age home somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know,
and it was legitimately like old, sick, and dying people, but that's because they were all like 90 years old and sick and dying. It had nothing to do with the COVID, and it had nothing to do with Queens Medical Center. But that's how they portrayed it on the news.
Well, see, I noticed a bunch of shit in a lot of the things that were going on. Like, I saw these pictures of this extreme extraction of somebody that had COVID, to where everybody's got, like the person was in a bubble on a stretcher, and the guy pushing the stretcher, he was in a special suit and everything. And the whole thing looked perfect, except for one part where one of the dudes in the picture didn't have the shit that he should have had in the case that everything else looked the way that it looked. He didn't have all of his equipment. So I was like, well, this doesn't make sense. So I was thinking to myself, it must have been a training exercise. They took a picture of it because he just didn't have all the shit, but they just went ahead with it anyway. And then I started seeing this stuff from Italy, right? And I'm like, I'm seeing these pictures in Italy, right? All these people laying on stretchers, with sheets pulled over their faces. But the thing that struck me about the video was that all the dudes that were in there, they were all just standing around without masks on or anything. I'm sitting there going,
well, you know what that's very reminiscent of to me is if you think back to the Boston bombing, and the guy that got his leg blown off because he was too close to the garbage can, it exploded. And he was being pushed down the street on a gurney by the medical techs. And as soon as they got far enough down the street that they thought they were out of the view of the cameras, the guy with, supposedly had his leg exploded, just got up and walked away.
Yeah, well, I mean...
so...
Let's just... Okay,
what
do
you believe anymore?
Let's say it's not evil. Let's just look at it for a moment and say it's not evil. Let's say that there is something, and that, it is coming, and the first round wasn't it, but it was to get everybody trained.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This there is something out there. I mean, I know people have gotten sick. You know, I've gotten sick myself. So, it's a real thing. But yeah, this is more or less the training exercise to scare the crap out of everybody and
also to find
get you
out
pre-programmed to, when the next one hits, there's going to be a lot of people that doubt it's real.
Well, and the other thing is all you got to
Yeah.
do is know about the NICE system, which is a system that tracks everything from the beginning to an end of some sort of an event. And during that time frame, it takes notes of everything, and then it makes changes in the next time around. So, I mean, this whole thing's been a training exercise for the AI, who's going to be able to make split-second decisions about what to do and extrapolate out. And they're using the AI on that shit. But what's interesting is what we were talking about yesterday was that picture. They trained an AI to look for wolves, and they put a Samoyed dog there, and the AI identified it as a wolf. And so they wanted to find out why it identified it as a wolf, because they didn't realize, like, what did it look at to make the decision that it was a wolf. And what it turned out was that every picture that the AI saw, it had snow in it. And so the AI didn't even look at the wolf. The AI was scanning the background for snow. And because there was snow in the background, it chose to call this dog a wolf. And so what the dude was putting forward is that when AIs make mistakes, there's no way to know. And the thing is, they make real bad mistakes. And so when you're using these computer systems to extrapolate out and formulate a plan and tell you what to do with your populations in the event that something happens like this, then it comes up with a decision, and they go with it and they trust it. And that's the thing that's really scary, because you don't know what's going to happen. And it's been trained on this whole thing, what's happened in the past here. Everything that's happened, it's seen all the weaknesses. It sees what hospitals can or cannot handle. What'll happen. What'll happen with the morgues. All this shit. I mean, it's all been programmed in. They know exactly what's going to happen the next time, and they know exactly what they're going to do. That's why they're all talking like it's like they know. It's like
they do, or they think they do anyway.
Do you think that little weasel would get up on there on TV and tell people they better do what they're told? I mean, did you hear Fauci telling people? The American people.
I heard that. You better, there's a time to do what you think, and time to do what you need to do, and time to do what you're told. So do what you're told.
Yeah, well, pull it up and do
a
pull it up and do a reverse.
Kick that guy square in the.
Pull it up and do a reverse speech on it right now.
All right, yeah. Do you have a link to the video?
I could. Hang on. I'll get it. Stand by. Either you start talking or I'm going to play some music until we come back. Let me go dig it up.
Well, I mean, I could carry on for hours about this because I'm at the point where I'm so, like, irritated about the whole situation. I know.
Did you know that we got hit for Brandy's "You're a Fine Girl"?
Oh, really?
I swear to God.
Well, did you catch the other night when before I joined you at the end of the show there for a few minutes? I was in the chat, like, talking to Brandy and talking to a few of the people
I saw
in chat.
That.
And the Google moderator team smacked me down.
Yeah, I did that on another stream when I replayed the show from Monday on the other channel. It did that to somebody, and they didn't even say anything bad. All right, what am I getting?
The comment that got deleted was, I told Brandy to hold on. I'll look it up.
Okay, so
like,
I'm gonna.
How is that offensive? Does that offend anybody? Please
I'm getting Fauci, and here we go. I'll be right back.
progressively vaccinated people are. So that's
I've got no soul to tell. Help me. The only thing that works for me. Help me get away from myself. I wanna fuck you like an animal. I wanna feel you from the inside.
By the time we get into the second quarter of 2021, we will have enough vaccine that we will have progressively vaccinated people so that when we get April, May, June, we'll be able to get people in the general population starting to get vaccinated.
So a guy like me who's not in a particular high-risk level, middle of the year, you think?
Yeah, I would think probably by anywhere between the end of the first quarter and the end of the second quarter.
Yeah. So then we have the problem of the people who say they will not or probably will not take the vaccine, and that number has actually increased rather than decreased in the past 6 months or so. I think for the people who are resistant because they didn't trust what anybody was saying, you talked about that showing an early efficacy of these trials. But the people who just think, no, I don't want to take a vaccine, I don't want anybody to tell me to take a vaccine. How do we move the needle on that?
Well, you've got to continually try and outreach them and do what we call community engagement. I mean, there are going to be a core of people who will not take a vaccine no matter what you do. I don't think you should give up on them, but I don't think you should necessarily expect. But there's a larger group of people who just probably have misinformation and don't understand the process. And what we've been trying to do, myself, Dr. Collins, and others, we've been trying to explain clearly what the process is of making a decision that a vaccine is safe and effective. It's an orderly process. It's done by independent groups that have no allegiance to an administration or to a company or to anyone. They make that decision. They look at the data and determine, is it safe and effective? Then there are layers of advisory committees. There's the career science and Dr. Collins, who will be looking at the people who are anti-vax fully appreciate how transparent that process is. They may think there's something that's being hidden, people are trying to put something over. It's not the case. And it's to their benefit and the benefit of society to get vaccinated. Benefit of society to get vaccinated. And it's to their benefit and the benefit. We need to reach out to them and make them realize that that's not the case. And it's to their benefit and the benefit of society to get vaccinated.
That doesn't sound like it's it. I knew that was going to happen, man, that I would go through that whole fucking thing and it wouldn't be it. So, let me see.
Yeah, I'm actually looking too, so, yeah.
You better look on your side. Let me see what I can see here. Fauci.
Bernays says Rio. Rio, hello.
Yeah, hang on. We have a very problematic situation 4 days ago. Follow restrictions and do what you're told. Here you go. These fuckers, man. These ads. It's raining hard in Frisco. I needed one more fare to make my night. Lady up ahead, she flagged me down.
That's sticking to coronavirus restrictions is the...
She got in at the light. It looks like here he is. You want me to send you this one? This is it.
Yeah, drop it in
now
here.
That hold up as models for, pretty good response to this?
The answer is yes, but right now it seems that every country is suffering.
Yeah.
We are often compared with countries that are not comparable to us. We are not a little island of 5 million people that we can shut off. We're not a country that would accept if a ruler tells us, you must do this. I was talking with our UK colleagues just today who were saying the UK is very similar to where we are now in outbreak because each of our countries have that independent spirit of we don't want to be told what to do. Well, I understand that, but now is the time to do what you're told. And I think it really is something that we should be doing right now.
Co-presented by Skoda. Simply clever.
Is this really necessary, dude? Does everybody got to fucking brand everything? I mean, there's got to be an intro and an outro. I guess I do too.
Well, thankfully the election's over now, because all I was getting every 2 minutes was Maxine Waters' bucktooth face telling me I needed to donate to the Democratic Party for like the last 3 months, and I was really getting tired of looking at her every 2 minutes.
All right, well,
Thank you, YouTube.
You got the documents.
I have the document. I am downloading the document for analysis as we speak.
All right, well, let me move this to the top. Let me bring this over here. Let me get my situation squared away. Let me get me over here. I got my I'm doing my getting the screen squared away here. There we go.
Oh, that's nice and tranquil. I could stare at that for a while.
Yeah. We'll go peaceful. There we are. Nice and peaceful, everybody.
That's right.
Take it easy.
Arr.
Everybody just... Hey, let's listen to Wood. I haven't heard this in a while.
Wood?
Yeah, Wood. I got Wood.
Wood, not wood?
Yeah, but it's WOULD, not WOOD.
Yeah, wood, not wood. Right? Okay.
All right, give me a second.
I will light the match this morning, so I won't be alone. Watch as she lies silent for soon that will be gone. Oh, I will stand arms outstretched, pretend I'm free to roam. Oh, I will make my way through one more day
in hell. He will make his way through one more day in hell. He will hold the candle till it burns up his arm, dude. He'll swallow poison. And he'll stare the sun down. And how much difference will it make? Did you find anything?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I knew you would, man. That little bastard. Go ahead.
So, right where he says the "do what you're told" line, and you play it backwards, it says "forced system." Who is this? Then it says Master Zoander. I don't know what Zoander is. Maybe it's some god or some system or some guru.
Isn't Zoolander? Wasn't Zoolander a movie?
Yeah, I was thinking it was Zoo. I had the same thought, but it's not Zoolander. It's like Zorander or something. I'll play it. And then I actually found another one a little later on where it says this is a mess and something else, like pretty clearly.
Let her rip, man.
What you're told. And I think it really is something that we should be doing right now. And, you know, when you must see
Master Zoolander. Who is this Master Zoolander?
But now is the time to do what you're told.
So who is Master Zoolander?
I don't know. I'm gonna type it in right now.
All right, and I'll keep going in reverse here till we get to the next one because it's just a couple seconds up.
And it's now. Where's this dog's lost? Even on what you there is the neck, didn't it? That back. See your snuck all up your sneak, so you get I know you where we still a miss syrups. The UK is very similar to.
All right, he's talking about the UK, and he goes here. It's and it's still a mess.
We still a miss syrups. The is very similar to where we are. Where we still a miss syrups. The is very.
You hear that?
I did hear it at that time. Yeah. So when you type in Zoolander, you get a lot of references to that movie.
Right.
But let me go deeper. Let me go and I'm on page 1. I'm clicking on page 10.
Yeah, but there's no L in it. It's not Zoolander. It's like Zoander.
Zoolander 2 has box office malfunction as Zombies Perish. Zombies Perish and Deadpool. Huh? What the fuck is this?
Deadpool? Deadpool's like a...
No, I know, but let me click on this. It's The Guardian. Let me see what this says. It says, oh, fuck off. It says, let me see. Hollywood Association Marvel produced pretty reliable returns, blah, 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 blah. Based on the performance of those films, da-da-da-da. That's nothing, man. I don't know who he is. Let me just type in Dr. Zoolander.
Oh, wait, I've got a Master Xander. Maybe that's what he said.
Master Xander?
Xander. Let's see what that is.
All right. Hey, Connie, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah.
Oh, I guess there's a guy named Xander who plays golf, and it's about the Masters tournament.
Okay. Well,
so that's not the Masters Xander that we were looking for.
Bernays Sauce is saying that name popped up the other night in a different accent.
Oh, really? Where did you find that or see that or what was it related to? I'm
He
kind of
means
interested.
Your show, our show. Let me go.
Oh no, that was Goizism or something, some weird name that in the Biden speech.
You know what we should do? We should go.
Galzoigan, that was the name. Galzoigan.
Hey, what's up, Gang of Four? You know what we should do, dude? We should go grab that. Interview with the lady saying that she's got all that shit on the Lou Dobbs interview. What's that lady's name?
Oh, the one that was talking in sexual innuendo that we played the other night?
No. Lou Dobbs with the lady about the fucking computers. Hold on. Lou Dobbs. What was? Yeah, here it is. Sidney Powell. Problem is this fucking thing is 38 minutes long. There's got to be a shorter. So now I know what it's called. It's called Lou Dobbs, Sidney Powell. Hold on. Sidney Powell. Let's see if we can get a shorter version of it. 8 minutes and 11 seconds. You want that?
Sure.
That's not that long, right? It shouldn't take you too long to download.
Joining us now by phone, Sidney Powell, a member of President Trump's legal team. She is also General Michael Flynn's.
Dude, she is going to be saying something, and I guarantee it. Oh, man. You sure you want to mess with this? I know you got to go to bed.
Hey, I'll give you one more on
All
this
right,
one.
I know you're going to find something, man. It's not even a question. All right, hold on. There's that. Let me, there's that. Let me see what Giuseppe's saying. Winter Watch. Scam on the testings. Do you guys want me to play the forwards while Rio is doing the backwards? Chat room, I know there's a delay, so as soon as I see what you're saying, let me know, and I'll play it forwards.
Yeah, and if you do, make note of any special times that you might think
all right, well,
would be particularly interesting.
As soon as I start, I've already heard this thing like a bunch of times on shows. Okay, so it looks like they want to hear it. All right, so look, I'll throw this up. I'll throw the video up here, and then I'm going to run in and grab a coffee real quick. All right, hang on a second. Window capture. Let me capture old Lou Dobbs. Sorry, bastard. Where is he? Do you think Lou Dobbs is a card-carrying member of the Sorry Bastards Club?
Could be.
That's what we used to say at work when I was working on job sites. You know, back in the day when I used to work before the lockdown. And we used to say that shit about people. People, you know, because we just try to make the best out of every day, you know, when you're on a job site, working union. But we used to say that, man, when anybody had a bad attitude, we just say, man, that dude's a card-carrying member of the Sorry Bastards Club. All right, here we go. I'm definitely not a card-carrying member.
Former federal prosecutor, best-selling author, one of the country's most prominent appellate attorneys. Sidney, good to have you with us. Dominion voting system seems to be figuring larger and larger in the interest of your legal team. And what is the latest?
Oh, definitely, Lou. I've just gotten some stunning evidence from a first-hand witness, a high-ranking military officer who was present when Smartmatic was designed in a way that and I'm going to just read you some of these statements, if you don't mind, so I get them exactly right from the affidavit. Designed in a way that the system could change the vote of each voter without being detected. He wanted the software itself to function in such a manner that if the voter were to place their thumbprint or fingerprint on a scanner, then the thumbprint would be tied to a record of the voter's name and identity as having voted, but that voter would not be tracked to the changed vote. He made it clear that the system would have to be set up but not leave any evidence of the changed vote for a specific voter, and that there would be no evidence to show and nothing to contradict that the name or the fingerprint or thumbprint was going with a changed vote. Smartmatic agreed to create such a system and produce the software and hardware that accomplished the result for President Chavez. After the Smartmatic electoral management system was put in place, he closely observed several elections where the results were manipulated using the Smartmatic software. One such election was December 2006 when Chavez was running against Rosales. Chavez won with a landslide over Rosales, a margin of nearly 6 million votes for Chavez versus 3.7 million for Rosales. In 2013, he witnessed another Venezuelan national election where the Smartmatic management system was used to manipulate and change the results for Chavez. And it goes on and on. He was in the control room where multiple digital display screens were shown for results and voting. The actual voting results were fed into that room and onto the displays over an internet feed, which was connected to a sophisticated computer system created by Smartmatic. People in that room were able to see in real time whether the vote that came through the electronic voting system was in their favor or against them. If one looked at any particular screen, they could determine that the vote from any specific area or as a national total was going to be against either candidate. Persons controlling the vote tabulation computer had the ability to change the reporting of votes by moving votes from one candidate to another by using the Smartmatic software.
And Smartmatic, the relation...
Smartmatic.
Sydney, yes, and Smartmatic, the chairman is Admiral Pete Neffinger, who is also on the the vice president's transition team, his presidential, presumptuous presidential transition team. That's an extraordinary situation as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So here's the other kicker. When the Smartmatic machines are, when somebody's losing, like, for example, when Maduro and his supporters realized the size of the other guy's lead, they were worried that they were in crisis mode and would lose the election. The Smartmatic machines used for voting in each state were connected to the Internet, reported their information over the Internet to the Caracas Control Center real time, so the decision was made to reset the entire system. Maduro's and his supporters ordered the network controllers to take the Internet itself offline in practically all parts in Venezuela to change the results. It took the voting operators approximately 2 hours to make the adjustments in the vote from Radonsky to Maduro. Then when they turned the Internet back on and the online reporting was up and running again, they checked each screen state by state to be certain they could see each vote was changed in favor of Maduro.
Sydney, you tweeted earlier today about CIA and its association. What have you discovered there?
Well, other than the fact there's no way all this was happening around the world without the CIA knowing about it. I mean, that's just logic. This affidavit also explains it's been used to change election results all over the world. And it's all Venezuelan and Cuban and essentially communist money that's been doing this. It's a foreign-owned company, as you mentioned earlier. The president of it is Mr. Neffinger, who is on Biden's very presumptuous and immediately failing transition team. And people have been reporting this to our government for several years, including Democrats, and nobody's done a damn thing about it, Lou. I can't even express how furious I am over this.
Well, I share your fury and frustration, but I do have some news to break here at this moment. I have now received word from a highly reliable source that the FBI does have an investigative team that is now looking into this election. Now, what that means beyond that, but at least it's confirmation that they are investigating, and we'll see what moves, because there had been no indication that indeed publicly that they were involved. They are now. To that point, I'd just like to show, if we could put up the full screen, under what their authorities are when we talk about these state-run elections, even though they're federal elections for at least a sizable number of the candidates. As you see there, The ballot includes one or more federal candidates, an election of polling place official abuses of their office, the conduct involving false voter registration, the crime intentionally targets minority protected classes, the activity violates federal campaign finance laws. All of this laid out on the FBI website for anyone to look at. And it appears, Sydney, that at least the FBI has finally looked at that website. I'm not sure it was Christopher Wray, but someone at the FBI, and took action. Your thoughts?
Well, my other thought is that as soon as the Smartmatic system changed the votes that they wanted for their desired candidate, by the time they finish, they achieve a convincing but narrow victory of the certain number of votes they want for their candidate. This person saw by what his own experience exactly what was happening there was happening here.
It is a deeply troubling election. As I said earlier, the worst in this country's history, bar none. And we have seen official investigative and Justice Department officials slow to move, and it is infuriating to everyone. The president,
we've seen willful blindness. They have adopted a position of willful blindness to this massive corruption across the country. And the Smartmatic software is in the DNA of every vote tabulating company's software and system.
Yes, and it is more than just a willful blindness. This is people trying to blind us to what is going on. We don't even know who the hell really owns these companies, at least most of them. That's got to change, and we've got to find out exactly what's going on. And thank God we've got a president who will stay in the fight all the way through until we get those answers. Sidney Powell, thanks so much. We appreciate it as always.
I have the goods.
My name's Jimmy. That is Rockin' Rio. He's got the goods. These are the babies.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? I could take you there. You could get what you want in the South. You could let down your hair. I said, do you, don't you, will you, won't you, baby, won't you please let me know? I ain't talking about Chicago. I'm talking about Mexico. Making a love for Mexico.
Let's make a run for it, dude. Let's make a run for Mexico. That's what you got to do, man. You see where everybody's going from, you go there.
That's right. Costa Tequila.
You know it, man. Everybody's trying to get out of France. Did you see the traffic jams?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. I know there's something there, man.
Oh, yeah. you're gonna dig this. These are actually really good ones. They're
Are they
they're clear?
Are they
and they're
congruent?
congruent.
Oh man.
And you're gonna love this. This guy says, "I love Biden."
I knew it, man. He's I knew he was part
All
of
right. Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
All right.
There's a couple of good ones in here.
All right,
There's
hold on.
a couple of good. I'm gonna roll it forward. I'll do the backwards. I'll hit it again, and then I'm gonna have to skip up a few seconds to get to the next one. But the
All
next
right.
one is priceless too.
Okay. Well, let me go over here and make sure the chat room's on the edge of their seats. All right, you guys. You ready now?
And I'll roll the little clip full speed forward first, and then I'll reverse it and slow it down.
I ain't gonna be here. I don't hear anything.
Oh yeah, it would probably help if I didn't mute it. Let's try that again.
These companies, at least most of them, that's got to change, and we've got to find out exactly what's going on. And thank God we've got a president who will stay in the fight all the way through until we get those answers. Sidney Powell, thanks so much. We appreciate it as always.
All right, now backwards.
Så was it an issue for you? Snabbesket. I mean,
It says, "Say it wasn't an issue for you."
Sidney Powell, thanks so much. We appreciate it as always. Så was it an issue for you? Snabbesket. I mean,
I hear it.
Seriously, as I think he was newer, he will walk me up and it's slow. And as therefore I do, yeah, thank God we've got a president.
I heard the Biden.
He says, "Thank God we've got a president," forward, and backwards he goes, "I love you, Biden."
And as therefore I do,
Oh man.
You caught that, right? That was pretty clear.
Yeah, did she say anything around the part where she goes she's going to release the Kraken?
I didn't catch the Kraken forward, but hey, I did catch her saying something too. But there's a couple more in here.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Нет, но я что вы сказали, я порадил вишнеешь, that I said, but that's some chill to see in Maxida.
All right, I think the next line here, he says something about the vaccine.
No, eller why I do when the know you rang out that I wish the nyal bunyar spoke it that's a nyal willful which is neither more than just a willful blindness. This
Okay, he says that the vaccine will move forward.
said that's a nyal willful which is neither more than just a willful blindness. This is people trying to blind us to what is it? I wish the nyal bunyar spoke it said that's a nyal willful which is neither on see the said in this site.
And something in their site, I didn't catch what was before that.
Yes, and it is said in this site.
But we're coming up on the really good one.
What's the scenario policy of my daily best to up your back by used in this aerial policy and I'm roasting it. Here's not the talk on this about the time that the sun yelling.
All right, right here it says something about punishing the Son of God.
Willful punishes but they have adopted a position of willful blindness.
Willfully punishes the sons of God.
They have adopted a position of willful blindness.
I can hear that, yeah, for sure.
Yep. That's about as far as I went. There might be more. I mean, she keeps talking, so.
Well, I'll play some more music. You go check it out. I want to continue on with the fantasy of Mexico. This one always reminds me of Mexico, man. It's Rockin' Rio on the case.
Down here, you need a reason to move. glance at you, I thought your post-hanging days were through. Sunken eyes and full of sighs, tell no lies. You get wise. I tell you now, we're gonna pull you through. There's only one thing left that we can do. We gotta get you a woman. It's like nothing else to make you sure you're alive. We gotta get you a woman. We better get walking. We're wasting time talking now. Leroy boy, you're my friend. You say how and I'll say when. Black slack. Come and meet me down the street. Take a seat. It's my treat. You may not ever get this chance again. That empty feeling's just about to end. We gotta get you a woman. It's like nothing else to make you sure you're alive. We gotta get you a woman. We better get walking. We're wasting time talking now.
Stop your messing around. Better think of your future. Time is straighten right out. Creating problems in town. Routine. A message to you, routine. A message to you.
This is a great tune, by the way.
Stop your fooling around. Time is straighten right out. Better think of your future. Else you wind up in jail. There's a gentleman that's going round, turning the joint upside down. Stool pigeon, ha cha cha cha. He's an old ex-con that's been away. Now he's back, no one say. Stool pigeon, ha cha cha cha.
If you wanna squeal, said the FBI, we can make a deal, make it worth your while. So we told it all, and in return, he got a credit card and a Thunderbird and the maximum security, even after plastic surgery. So go on and squeal, said the FBI, we can make a deal, make it worth your while.
There's a gentleman that's going round, turning the joint upside down. Stool pigeon, ha cha cha cha. He's an old ex-con that's been away. Now he's back, no one say. Stool pigeon, ha cha cha cha.
How you doing there, bro?
Oh, I got a few more.
All right, well, let's pause the Kid Creole and the Coconuts stool pigeon from 1982. What's up, regular girl? What's up, Lewis? Oh, yeah. Everybody's having fun. So, all right, what'd you find, bro? I know you got him. You got him by the balls. I know you do.
All right, so the first one is going to end up saying, now we revolutionize the earth.
Slow to move, and it is infuriating to everyone. The president.
We've seen willful blindness. And
no, it is infuriating to everyone. The president.
We've seen willful blindness. And
No, we're revolution get irrefness in formidals. Så chef, ja,
All right, so the next one is going to say BS and me spreading it.
Okay, hang on a second. So, revolutionizing the earth. Now, let's say this fraud, there's a fraud, there's, election fraud, there's tampering with computers. And they say, okay, from now on, with all this fraud, we need to have the digital ID, which is what we've been talking about, the quantum blockchain ID. And maybe that's what by exposing this, will be the next step into the digital currency and the ID system. And that's what she means by revolutionizing the world, because exposing this will make people demand their IDs, is what I think. So go ahead. What else you got?
That's a very good possibility. So here he talks about something official in the forwards. I'll play it forwards first. And then the reverse is BS and me spreading it.
I hear nothing.
I hear you playing music.
I know. I'm playing Baby Come Back.
All right, here we go.
All right.
The worst in this country's history, bar none. And we have seen official worship and the worst in this country's history, bar none. And we have seen official investigation.
I almost heard the bullshit, but I'm not sure I did, but I almost did, I thought.
And we have seen official worship. That
should have been pretty clear.
Official bullshit.
Yeah. Well, that was forward was official and backwards was the.
And then he says we're spreading it.
Yeah, me spreading it.
And now who's this talking?
Is that official investigative and justice department?
The old guy,
Lou Dobbs.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's
the sorry bastard.
Yep.
Okay.
So then, let me skip ahead here.
Man, I want to play Policy of Truth, but I know if I do, I'll get us banned worldwide. And that sucks. But the good news is I'm recording this bitch right now, so I can upload it to the other channel also, which I'll do.
We're getting. Are the moderators on us?
No, nobody's on us. We're good. We're good, but I played Policy of Truth on my show before and got the video banned worldwide, so I had to take it out. But I want to play it right now, but I can't. That's what I mean.
All right. Well, here's the next one. I'm not sure what the forward says, but the reversal is going to be Creating the impossible worry.
Experience exactly what was happening there was happening here.
Creating impossible worry and impossible will pass mysterious.
It's creating impossible worry. Hope will pass.
Experience exactly what was happening there was happening here. Creating impossible worry and impossible will pass mysterious.
Creating impossible what? And it says something about a theory, I thought, there at the end, too.
It says creating impossible worry, and then it says all hope will pass, and then something else after that. I didn't catch that.
No. So maybe he's not going to win.
I'll roll it one more time. I'll go slower.
Yeah, please.
Experience exactly what was happening there was happening here. Creating impossible worry and impossible will pass mysterious.
I heard the worry, and then there's something about a theory after that.
What his own experience exactly what was happening there was the worry and impossible will pass mysterious.
The worry, the hope will pass, and then something.
What his own experience exactly mysterious.
Yeah, I can't make that one out.
Connie G hears the creating impossible worry, too.
Yeah, yep. Good. So, I'm glad other people out there actually are hearing it, because I know sometimes it's hard to catch this stuff.
Seriously, can you believe there's only, can you believe only 9 people know in the whole world? There's 7 billion people. Only 9 people in this whole fucking world know about this show.
I think they need to tell 2 friends.
I'm
and
just
their friends
saying.
Need to tell 2 friends, and their friends need to tell 2 friends. We got to get this going here.
Dude, I'm just saying, man.
Hey, look, Regular Girl's here. Hey, Regular. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, Regular comes by. She's usually on the replays, though. She usually don't make it on the live ski. No, but I'm just saying.
Of course, the old droner popped in too.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'm not complaining that there's only 10 people here. Okay.
I know. This is the kind of stuff that more people need to understand now.
I'm just saying, man, just given the nature of what we're doing here, we're doing this live. It's happening organically. We're interacting with the chat room. They're hearing stuff. We're hearing stuff. And we're putting this whole thing together, man, and we're doing it together on the air. And it's on tape forever and ever, man. And the chat is going to be there forever and ever. And I'm just saying, if more people knew about this, they'd be fucking joining in with us and having fun. Where's the LARPers, man? Where's all the LARPers in here in the chat room going, hearing stuff and, helping us, get it out there or whatever? I don't get it, but I do get it, ultimately. You know what I mean?
It is 1 a.m. on a Monday night here.
It doesn't matter, though. The world it's a big world, G.
Yeah, it is. Well, we got people from all over the world.
I know.
I guess that kind of helps. So we got one in every area. So, like I said, they can tell 2 people and they can tell 2 people. And, next thing you know, everybody knows.
I know. It went, dude, it went up to 15 people there for a minute. We had 15 concurrent viewers, but now we're back down to 9. So, all right.
Well, I think actually if they don't chat for 3 minutes or something, it bumps them off the list. So there might be others just kind of lurking about and listening without actually talking, typing.
Peppy fell asleep and we're still here. Okay, go. We're here. Let me just do one thing real quick. Let me just play a little bit of this while I do one thing. All right.
All right.
You got time?
Why not?
What the fuck else are you gonna do, man?
Sleep. Yeah, I only get up in 3 hours. It's okay.
Take a nap.
It's about what I'm gonna do. Then my boss goes, "Why are you late every day, man? I don't understand it." It's Jimmy's fault.
That's my fault, man. Hold on. Here you go. This will help you wake up a little. I did something. Hang on, sorry about that. Man, when I was working at the club, I saw so many great bands and I just wasn't into it. It's like I was working the shows when Steel Pulse came through. I saw everybody, dude. I saw the Specials. I saw Steel Pulse. I saw them all, man. But I was in my band and I played rock and I just fucking wasn't into none of the people that I saw. So I mean, when I was working there, I was really just working and it's just really noise in the background, because I was watching crowds and throwing people out and shit like that, But
it's funny, you don't appreciate what you got when you got it, and then later on you realize what you missed out on.
I know. And the thing was, man, dude, I was living my life, so I wasn't sitting there like trying to get people's autographs and shit. They were just like regular people, we just sitting there drinking a beer together or whatever. I wasn't sitting there trying to fucking someday prove I was sitting there with the guy or whatever, you know what I mean?
It's funny because like with all the people I ever worked with, I only have like pictures of me with, a very small handful of them. Like, it's amazing. Like, I mean, I got a couple good ones, I got like me and Bo Diddley
and when the club closed, dude, when the club fucking closed, I was there. I could have there was pictures on the wall. You know how everybody has their,
the promo shots.
Yeah, so there was promo shots on the wall of everybody that had been there, and they'd all been signed by everybody. And I mean, I'm telling you, when I say I could show you guys pink sections from San Francisco, from the club that I used to work at. We had 3 clubs in the Bay Area. We had one in San Francisco, one in Berkeley, and one in Palo Alto. I worked in Palo Alto. I'll show you guys the playlist for the schedules for the club for the months. You'd be blown away at the bands that came through there. You would not even fucking believe me if I sat here and told you half the shit. I mean, half the stuff, man. Like literally, I mean the one show when Stevie Ray Vaughan came through. Right after the he got off tour with when he was on tour with David Bowie on the Let's Dance thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he just got off tour with him, and he went solo, and it was like his first run around in the clubs. He played our place. He played up in San Francisco. I mean, I worked that show, and I was working the first tier, and it was tiered with a dance floor, and so I was standing on the first tier right on the stairs, keeping people from being on the stairs. So I was on the stairs, and I was standing 20 feet away or 30 feet away from the show. And, Stevie's right there, man. Just fucking, I mean, it was sold out, of course, sold out show. And it was a fucking great show. I literally found somebody that recorded the show, like on one of those remember those little recorders you used to have? The cassette ones, the real high-end Sony, like Walkmans you could record.
Yep.
Somebody recorded the show up in San Francisco, and it was a really shitty recording. And I spent a week with that shitty recording. I downloaded it and I put it in, and I started trying to engineer it out, man, try to get it out. I got a lot of it out, man, but I could never really get it. It was kick-ass.
Oh, I actually used to do that with live recordings from our guys. We had a little better system for recording. I would record, off the soundboard or something, and usually only like a stereo mix, but I would then like EQ it, cut it up, make my own bootleg CDs, pass them out. People loved it, man. They ate it up. They said it was some of the best material, even though the sound quality wasn't perfect. You know, they were better than the records because it was like, real live action, like right then and there. So.
Kick ass. Well, while you're doing that, I got some Keystone Pink sections up here.
Oh, I got another one ready to roll here.
Okay, go ahead, roll it.
By the time they finish, they achieve a convincing but narrow victory of the certain number of votes they want for their candidate. This person saw by...
All right, so now the reversal's cool. It's you say scare the small wits or something like that. Yeah, so it says, and then they're talking about the voting, and then in the reverse it says, and God usurps it, and they scare the small wits.
Of votes they want for their candidate. This person saw by laws usurps it, and they scare the small wits
They scare the small wits, they're fear mongers.
Of the certain number of votes they want for their candidate. And they scare the small wits mongers. But you're wearing the
I don't get what the last part there was, but that's pretty interesting. Talking about the voting, they scare the small wits.
Look at that shit right there, boy. Look on the screen. You see that? Nah, I'm just telling you, man. I'm telling you guys, when I tell you the shit that I tell you, I'm not bullshitting you. You see this? Metallica, Kill 'Em All. Live at the Keystone, Palo Alto, October 31st, 1983. Okay?
Oh, that's early stuff there.
I know. Well, I mean, we've talked about it before, but that I was there when this fucking happened. We were all in the scene at the same time.
Did they even have a record by 1983? When did Ride the Lightning come out?
I'm not sure. I think it came out. I'm not even sure. Anyway, point is, I'm gonna ditch this. Look, I found some of these. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of that. Look at this here. Check out, here, let's just do this one. I'll just grab this one. I don't know what it says. Let's check it out. Let's see. Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, Kate Wolf, Greg Kinban. Who else? That's it. Nobody real big on that one.
Well, I've heard of Greg Kinn. I know who that is.
Yeah, he was huge, man.
And then you got the half of the Grateful Dead. You got Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir.
Look at this one. Look at this one. Bo Diddley, Rick and Ruby, John Lee Hooker, John Hammond, the Moonlighters, the Hoodoo Rhythm Devils, New Riders of the Purple Sage, Jan and Dean, the Rubinoos, man, I'm telling you, it was like this every month too. I mean, these are just random ones that people just had, and they put them up here. So
I'm trying to remember where I did with Bo Diddley. I think it was Italy. Might have been in Italy. But it's one of the few pictures I do have with me with somebody is,
Look
me
at
and Bo knows Rio.
Look at this here, Bo. Look at this here. Comedy night. Dana Carvey, Bobby Slayton.
I always like Dana Carvey.
Yeah. James Wesley Jackson, Michael Pritchard at the bottom of the list.
Is he even still around? I mean, I remember his name, but I don't think I've heard it in a long time.
Oh, this is old too, because this is yesterday and today. That was before they changed their name to Y&T. They're on here. September 13th. I'm telling you, man. I was there, and at the time I didn't even. No, it was Bob Corona owned that club. it was Big Bob Corona owned the club, and then his son Bobby ran the club up in San Francisco. Bobby was a Stanford graduate, and then Bobby's assistant ended up being a big a record dude down for Warner Brothers. I was literally, I shit you not, man. I was 20 years later. I'm working down in Los Angeles. It wasn't 20 years later. It was like 10 years later after the club closed. I'm working down in Los Angeles. I'm running a project. I'm sitting there. I come walking out. I was doing some stuff on Warner Brothers lot. I come walking out, and I see this guy, Vinny. He used to be Bobby's assistant while he was just going to Stanford while he was working at Bobby's assistant up at the club. But this is no lightweight shit. I mean, seriously, it was like, we were one step down from the Bill Graham, scene. So Bill Graham was doing stadiums, and Big Bob, we had 1,500 seat club in Palo Alto, and then, I don't know how many was in San Francisco. I think it was 1,000 on Broadway. So.
Yeah. Bill Graham. That's another name I haven't heard in a while.
I know, we were going to do a show about it. Epic and I because I told him I thought there was something fishy there with Bill Graham. Because
yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
Just because he had the East Coast, West Coast, he had it all tied up, nobody else. Oh wait, here's a picture of Metallica at the show in Palo Alto. Here you go. They're playing Creeping Death. Check it out. James Hetfield, man. Before he was rich.
And that would still be in the Cliff Burton days, too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was. I saw Cliff.
Oh, my God. Look how young James is there.
I know. I got some personal pictures of this shit somewhere. See who this is. See here. I'm just telling you, man, they all played there. And Big Bob, he treated the people that played really well, man. They loved playing for Big Bob, man. They loved Big Bob. And Big Bob ended up, he was, if I would say the dude Big Bob was probably my mentor, man. In a lot of ways, he taught. I mean, I started working there when I was 17 as security. I worked there until I was 26 or 27. I think I was 27. 3 bands a night for 10 years.
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
I know, dude. I know. And, and then we hooked up, because they managed Eddie and the Tide, I went on the road with Eddie and the Tide. I was the keyboard roadie for Eddie and the Tide.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for Kaz. They used to have, they had a keyboard player named Kaz, and they ended up throwing him out of the band right before they made it. Right before they got a deal, right? So it was right at the beginning of MTV. When MTV first started, and they used to have a show on the weekends. If you submitted your video, if people called in, they could vote your video and get it on there. So they had a party at the club. It was a call-in party, and they had all these phones lined up, man. And they Eddie and the Tide put out a video for their song. I forget what it was. I was running wild, running free. And they did this whole production on it, and people called in and they got it on there. So they got it on, and then they ended up getting a deal with Warner Brothers, and it was right. And what ended up happening? They got a deal with Warner Brothers, and Eddie Money. They got Eddie Money to produce the first album, and it was right after Eddie Money had done all these records. And so he was a big Bay Area dude, and he was around, so they got him to produce it. I'll show you guys. I can play the video for 1 in a Million on here. So their big hit was 1 in a Million, right? Hold on a second. I worked on this video. I'll show you guys. And Big Bob, the owner of the club. He's in the video, and he's playing a hotel. He's playing the hotel owner, and he's basically dressing down all the dudes in the band. They work at the hotel, and he's telling them, "Hey, man, don't try to, the record executives are going to be here, babe. Don't mess with the record executives." All the shit he's saying, it's really funny to me because all the shit he's saying to them, he used to say to us when we worked at the club every fucking night. He'd say that shit to us. So hang on a second. You guys got to see this, man. Plus, it was, like I said, it's at the beginning of, whatchamacallit, MTV and the beginning of videos. So this was like a big deal to make a video. These guys made a...
I remember when I was a kid staying up late to see MTV come on the air because it was a big event.
I know.
Came on at like 12:01 a.m., whatever that night was back in 1981. I was at my friend's house.
Remember
we intentionally waited for it to come on.
We did those shows on MTV. Those were good shows.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think I might have them.
Yeah, me and you did, I think we did a 2-parter.
It might have even been a 3-parter.
Yeah, those were some good shows back in the day, man. Hang on. Let me throw this up here. You guys will get a kick out of this, man. I'll tell you that. It's funny, too. I looked for myself in this video a million times because I was in it. Because I was there, but I was working there. I was getting paid as a video tap technician, and so
video tapping, huh?
I was every time they moved the cameras, I had to move the equipment and hook up the cables into the gear and all this shit. And there was a dude there when we were making this video. There was a guy there who was a sound man, and he had a fucking remote control helicopter. And this is back in the day. Now, these are no drones where you can just fucking throw them up there and let them fly. This dude had an actual helicopter. It's about 3 feet, big. And he was flying it around while we were making this video. It was so cool. All right, you guys ready? You guys ready for 1 in a million?
Don't fall in love.
Here you go. Check this out.
She's a beauty.
Here you go. Check this out.
All right. As manager of this hotel, I've been nice enough to let you play as Eddie the Tide this summer. And so far, it hasn't interfered with your regular jobs here. With these record executives coming, I don't want you guys trying to get a record deal while you play poolside. And I don't want you horsing around. And especially this weekend, I don't want you even talking to the record executives at all. Scott, eyes on the pool, not on the ladies. Johnny, guests do not carry their own bags. Kaz, park the cars, don't sleep in them. George, don't mix up the room keys today. Eddie, a good waiter can make lots of money. So give up the nonsense with a Tide and a record deal. You're dreaming. Your chance of getting signed are 1 in a million.
Mr. C, this band is 1 in a million.
That's Kaz right there. This is the keyboard player dude right here. Check this dude out. That's Kaz. So this chick, this girl, the premise of this video is that they want to get a record deal, and this girl shows up. Now this is a girl. I'm pretty sure she was in. She's danced in some other video. She was a big video vixen dancer chick. She got pulled on stage and danced somewhere. I forget what it was. So, but at the time, she was like a big actress in the rock video dancer chick genre. So they're trying to get a record deal. See this dude that just showed up in the white limo? That dude's name is Jeff Siegel, and he was the program director at a radio station called KSJO. And he's he's playing this dude that looks like the record executive, but really he's not. It's really the chick who's the record executive. See, they're running over there to get his bags, and they left her hanging over there.
Know how much I miss her. Standing alone. That's how I know she's one in a million. So different from the other ones. She's one in a million. Well, and nothing gonna break it. It's just too strong.
Nah, Bella, Courtney Cox wasn't even born yet.
What'd you say?
Well, Bella asked if that was Courtney Cox. I said, no, man, she wasn't even been born yet.
No, but it was right around that time, though. It was Courtney Cox coming up on stage with Bruce. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, but that was later on. It was like almost late 80s, 87, 88, something like that.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, man. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Every show that we went and played with these guys was sold out, okay? Every place we played was sold out, and it was filled with beautiful women because they all loved Eddie. And it was all at this time when it was like, you know, like Huey Lewis and the News was out there and all these different people, and this type of because Eddie sang a lot about love, man. You know, he's singing about being in love. He wanted to find somebody, this kind of thing. And so he was literally, I mean, it was a big deal, man. And there was so much money and blow around this band. It's not even funny. And I had met somebody, you know, at the club, and I was hanging out with her, but we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. And she was a coke dealer. And she ended up becoming the guy I was his roadie. She ended up becoming his wife. She married him, and she was a coke dealer. And this dude, back in the day, there was lots of blow around this keyboard player.
Tired of losing. She said her heart seen one too many bruises. Says about time something good came along. Yeah, she says I'm one in a million, and she's got so much to give me. Makes it right when everything goes wrong. 'Cause I know she's one in a million. So different from the other one. She's one in a million. Well, and nothing gonna break it. It's just too strong. Getting ready, anticipating. She's the one.
That's the club right there. Oh, wait, I forgot about this scene. Let me see. Hang on a second. I'm in this crowd. That might be me right there. Damn. Hang on.
You actually think you saw yourself in the video?
I'm in the crowd because this isn't a real crowd.
No, I made it into the crowd with the Bon Jovi video, although you can't see me. I'm real tiny, itty bitty. Just a dot in the audience. But they filmed the video the night I was there, which is cool.
These guys were really a good band. they sold out, man. I mean, like I said, every show sold out. And then they got this record deal with Warner Brothers. They threw out Kaz, and they got this other keyboard player who was in some cover band. They used to have a lot of these big cover bands that would go around, and they just played nothing but covers. And this dude was like a keyboard player in that band. And they brought him in, ditched Kaz, and then they got the deal, went to Warner Brothers, and then they went on tour. Eddie Money produced the album. They went on tour, and they put us on tour with Stryper, which was a Christian heavy metal band. And so we were...
I know who Stryper is.
Yeah, so we were the middle act on a Stryper concert. So we didn't really, I mean, it would have been much better to put us someplace else, but that just didn't happen. And then they just kind of limboed it out, and they never went anywhere. And then Eddie gave up, went to Nashville, and tried to just be a songwriter. And
so what was the band's name?
Eddie and the Tide.
Eddie and the Tide.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a cut from their last album. If I can. Hang on. The other thing, too, is the last show that my band played. Hang on a second. The last show that we played, that my band played, we played with a band called Armored Saint at this club and there was nobody there. Literally, there was absolutely no one there. And we were there with Armored Saint. We were the middle band, and we destroyed that place, man. I mean, this was back when I was still drinking, and just the dressing rooms, and we did all this shit. And I never really heard anything about Armored Saint after that, again. And then recently, I did a search on Armored Saint, and all of a sudden there's like there's a documentary about the band Armored Saint.
I was watching what was it? I can't even remember which band it was, but I was watching something like that the other night where I was, just flipping through and happened to look up something I hadn't heard in a while. Got tossed into my feed, and I said, "Oh, let me see what this is." And it was kind of the same deal. It was like a documentary about a band that just, vanished like 20 years ago. I guess that's becoming like the new thing to do, these documentaries. Of the lost bands.
Yeah, I'm just looking back here. So Eddie and the Tide, they had a song on the Lost Boys soundtrack, because they were from Santa Cruz, and that's where they shot that. So hang on a second. I'm trying to find this album cover, and I can't find the fucker. Hang on. This is another one of their songs.
We built the Ford Fusion Hybrid because in California.
Let me play this real quick while I'm looking for that. You got to go, man?
I'm still here.
All right, hang on.
You'll know when I fall asleep in the chair.
Time is going by, and I come to realize that one day
Man, I'm telling you, dude, those were some good times, man.
So it looks like Eddie and the Tide is going to release something new in the very near future called the Eddie Rice Project.
Get out of here.
It says released a new album in 2020 entitled Love Songs from Another Dimension. Features Eddie Rice, Scott Mason, and Chris Rieger.
Chris is that new keyboard player, and Scott is the drummer.
And Kenny Ames on bass.
I wonder what happened
It's recorded in Nashville, but the Crisis in 2020 has delayed release. But you can go to the Eddie and the Tide YouTube channel to hear a couple songs.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the album. This is their last album before they left, and this is the one that Eddie Money worked on. I'll get the cover up there. But this, to me, there's 11 songs on here. This is the only song that's worth the shit on the whole album, if you ask me. It's a good song. Play this whole song, man.
Sophomore year in high school, 4 of us wanted to start a group.
I got in the car and I go, guys, I got the name for our band, Armored Saint.
We pretty much identified with Armored Saint right away. We became instant friends.
People that don't know the LA scene, we're talking still early 80s here, you know.
It was very glam.
The fact that they had, you know, they had uniforms.
And Armored Saint kind of had a more of a, you know, medieval road warrior look.
We were not Hollywood.
As I'm sure that they would sit around and talk about, you know, Metallica and their smelly Motorhead t-shirts and why they never washed.
You know, it felt good. These agents are like, you're not even on stage, and they're like, hey, we love your band. Here's my card. Thanks, let me go try out.
The place was packed for Armored Saint. It's not like people were waiting for Metallica to come on. The place was full when Saint came on.
It's Armored Saint, but none of us are saints.
Phil just got up, kicked the chair off the stage, and started playing with a cast on his leg.
We just wanted to be rock.
We were all very naive.
I just saw myself in Armored Saint and complimented by the fact that they wanted me to join Metallica, but I was like, but I love my band.
I don't think that we were ever very keen on how anything worked in the music industry at all.
And I'm starting to shoot the guys, and then the sun's going down. And all of a sudden I looked at the guys and they had this terrorized look in their face. I'm like, guys, what's wrong? Neil, there's 3 guys with shotguns walking towards us in our direction. I'm like, just shut up, just keep shooting.
You know, I'd never really been anywhere in my life. So to get on a plane and go to Europe, it's kind of like when the Beatles came to America. They came, all their heroes from there. For us, it was the opposite. All our heroes were from Europe.
I was really happy for Armored Saint 2 on that record because it was one of these universal, like every review was amazing, like just the buzz on that record from the whole metal community was really great.
My main recollection of Armored Saint at the time was just that they were different. They were different than all the other bands in LA and Hollywood.
Armored Saint is a rock band, sure, but Armored Saint is also a sport. Because in order to be an Armored Saint, you have got to have the energy to pump it up every single night.
I think that there's always been this loyalty to Armored Saint, and I think that we could probably attribute that back to our childhood.
I was yes. I mean, with Armored Saint, with me, it's always yes. Always.
There's no doubt the main factor that Armored Saint has that most other bands don't is the brotherhood.
Who would want to be an Armored Saint?
Armored Saint es número 1.
What'd you think, dude? Armored Saint is numero uno.
Interesting.
I know. Well, see, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just so you know, when I'm not a fucking wanker. I was playing shows with like an Armored Saint, Quiet Riot, Motley Crue, Y&T, SVT, Crocus, and so on. And Rio is no joke either. So we're Rio, man. We just don't fucking talk about this, you know. You know what I mean, Rio? A lot of people.
Yeah. You know, I'm getting to the age now where I don't mind letting the stories out.
You want to hear a local band that never made good?
Never made good? Like they just never took off?
Yeah, they never took off. Hang on, let me get rid of Home Skillet. Oh no, wait, let me leave Home Skillet there, and I'll just do this. So, like I was saying earlier, man, where are you gonna get? I mean, this shit is original content, man. We ain't over here like, you know, playing other people's shit and making a show out of it.
Yeah, huh?
You know what I mean? Man, I'm having a good time tonight. I don't care. You know, the thing is, it doesn't matter.
You know, it'd at least be nice if they said, hey, you know, I was listening to Jimmy and Rio the other night, and they were talking about this, and I want to expand on it.
Oh, well, dude.
But, you know, like, we can't even get that kind of props. We just get, let's just use what Jimmy and Rio did and put it on our show and pretend it's our own.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, last night...
Wonder if they're listening right now. Do you hear me?
Hey, last night, Clyde Lewis did a show on remote control, mind control.
Yeah, my point exactly.
Right after I did it on Monday on the regular show.
Yeah, and we did it, what, Sunday night?
Yeah, that's when he probably listened to it, because that Sunday night show was a lot of material there. But he didn't really touch on the same shit we touched on, but he specifically mentioned the ELF weapon, and I went out of my way to mention that on the show. and I was listening, and he's like, I was like, what? He's already doing a show on this, and then he's like, the Elf Weapon. I was like, damn. I don't mind. I mean, it's not secret information, but I mean, it's just funny.
No, I know. It's funny. Like whatever we do, like somebody else does it like right away.
I know. It's just funny that we just got 9 people over here, but it seems like we got 9 important people. Check out. This is Tsunami. Call Off the Dogs. Dude, I gotta play this other song for you. Have I ever played this? There's a band called Damage. Have I ever played any of this for you?
I don't think so.
All right, well, these guys... Okay, so these guys were a band, too. And they put an album out, which my band we never put an album out. So, there's nothing. I have nothing. There's recordings, but I don't have them. But... So this was a band that we were sort of always fighting for the second position in any kind of heavy band that came through. It was always battling between us and them, and we're still. Greg, the singer of this band, is married to Dina, who was the owner of the Keystone, Palo Alto, his girlfriend. Is married to the singer of this band. So when we would play gigs, it would always be like a battle, man. Dude, bands were so heavy back then compared to now. Is it not?
Oh, well, yeah. When the 90s came around, everybody went into like full wuss mode. Wah.
It's just like you would go to any club, anytime, and there was metal playing, and there were just these bands, man. That's what I'm saying. Think about what I'm telling you. The local scene up here was fucking Metallica, Exodus, Armored Saint. We were all at the same level. You know what I mean? Back then, it was just all these bands were all playing with each other everywhere up here. And it was
yeah. Well, you guys had a little different on the West Coast scene than we had in the East Coast scene. Like we were more separated in a way. Like it was tiered over here. You were like Class A, Class B, Class C.
Yeah.
And those groups didn't really intermingle. I mean, I guess they did at some point because you had to start off as a C before you got to A, but
No, I mean, fucking, check out. Here, let me just do this real quick.
Exactly, Drone. Exactly. They went butt hurt rock. That's what it became. Butt hurt rock.
And they ruined. I mean, there was like a machine up here. There was literally a machine that used to churn out product, man. I mean, there was like a whole management scene up here. You'd get a deal, and then they fucking run you through this thing. And, Y&T yesterday and today was one of the best bands up here, the best hard rock bands. And eventually, what the fuck is this? Some modern version of this? No, man. Anyway, so they took this band and they turned them into this whole product. And they changed their name from yesterday and today. They're like, you got to change your name from yesterday to today to Y&T or whatever, you know, like a marketing thing. And it's like, because, you know, originally they had the name Yesterday and Today because of the Beatles, right?
Mhm.
So Dave Manichetti, one of the best fucking guitar players on earth, man, no, hands down. And we played with these guys 3 times with this band, and we played with them after this period. This is their early period when they were still Yesterday and Today, and this song called Beautiful Dreamer. Check it out.
We ever wrote together as a band?
Oh man, it's live. Nuh-uh. Sorry. No can do. Let's see if this will do it. I don't know. Listen to Leonard's foot, dude. This dude had the single bass foot, the heaviest single bass foot on earth. Leonard Hayes. He's all diseased and fucked up now, but
You're the sugar in my coffee, yeah. You're the honey in my tea. I wake up every morning. You mean everything to me.
I'm not going to dick around with this too long. Okay, so now they took them from Yesterday and Today. This is the same thing that happened with Metallica too. You'll notice. Because when Metallica went to the Black Album, everything changed. Bob Rock was all around the Bay Area. Bob Rock used to be in doing sound, running sound for people for shows, all these big Bay Area shows. There was a record label called Berserkly up here, which had a bunch of people on it. Greg Kihn was on it. And a bunch of these people launched out and they had hits. And so they changed their name to Y&T. And then they came out with this album that was really big, man. And this is when I played with them when this album was out. Hang on. It's called Earthshaker. Hang on. And you can hear how it changed. You know how Metallica, when Bob Rock got a hold of them?
Mm-hmm.
You know when Bob Rock came in? And Bob Rock came in, slowed him down, and he the way he tweaked the sound and slowed him down is what made that Black Album so big. It's what made Metallica so huge. Metallica would never have been as big as they were without that Black Album. But let me see here. We don't want to hear Hungry for Rock. Hang on. Sorry. I'll start off with this. Let me see here. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what they would open the show with, and the whole place would be packed, man. I mean, packed with beautiful. I mean, beautiful women everywhere, dude, because they loved Dave Manichetti, man. This is what they'd open the show with. Can you imagine that? If you're a millennial, man, you cannot imagine that. What that could be like.
Oh, they have no idea.
And it was like
That's when, everything we did was a party.
I'm telling you, man.
It's like David Lee Roth says, some people can throw a party. I am the party, right? That's what it was all about back then.
This album was big for them. And then they did this whole thing where they had this robot. It was like this fucking, I don't even know who came up with the idea. Here, I'll show you the robot I'm talking about, though. This is when they went all commercialized. But this is a good song, though. I like any YNT song, man.
Yeah, well, that was the thing too. Like, toward the end of the '80s, everybody started getting more polished, more commercial, more professional, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, but it was like,
well, they had to soak it up for MTV. That's what it was really all about.
yeah, and it was like, hold on a second. It became a product, It's like there was something organic. There was something organic going on. I mean, there was a metal scene in the Bay Area, but it was like, it wasn't all glamorized or anything like that. And then you have what was going on in Los Angeles was completely different. There's like a glam rock scene going on down there, Motley Crue, Poison, all these fuckers, Jet Boy, all these bands, people wearing makeup and shit, all this whole cross-dressing thing going on.
Yep.
But I mean, it's interesting just in the sense that it was down in Los Angeles. So, given what we know about Los Angeles, so you could see why maybe that was going on down there as a way to get attention from some of the industry people. But there was no femininity about these dudes. I mean, they were dressing up looking like chicks or whatever, but they'd still kick your ass, if you got in a fight. I mean, these guys weren't like pussies running around or whatever, you know what I mean? They're wearing
Yeah, I mean, it was, it was just the stage outfit all the time. That's all.
How did they get us wearing girls' makeup and girls' clothes? I don't know. And no one ever figured it out. It never dawned on me.
Well, I can say I had pretty poofy hair. I still have pretty long hair, but I have never donned the eyeshadow and lipstick. Can't say I've done that. Never ever.
I'm just saying, it never dawned on any of us the aspects of it. Like, why does a dude care how his ass looks?
Well, because he cares what the chicks think of it.
Why do chicks like guys' asses is the point. I don't think it's for chicks. I think the whole thing was a homoerotic
well, yeah,
setup.
I mean, there's some bone smuggling and that kind of stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All of a sudden, you got dudes running around on spandex with a gherkin in their pants, and this and that. You know what I mean? Do they got to run? Does his shirt have to be open like that?
Well, that was the L.A. scene.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was totally different. Metallica up here in San Francisco, they didn't. I mean, they're one of their first shows up at the Stone. There was just dudes up there drawing like shit on their own. Denim vests. You cut your sleeves off your Levi jacket, and they were making Metallica vests that look like gang vests. And when the opening acts were playing, the Metallica people walked up to the front of the stage and turned their back on them. They were all standing there with their back turned until Metallica came on. All right, now check this out. This is them now past this other album I just played you, Earthshaker, and now they're off into the weeds with all this like Black Tiger and all this other shit. Okay, I want you to look at this right here. Just so you can like get a feel for what I'm telling you when I say playing a show with Y&T when they were in their prime, and it was a sold out show and it was filled with women, beautiful women. This is what I'm talking about. Not necessarily the women in the video, I'm just saying all the women in the audience. There's Dave and Phil. Phil's dead. Joey's dead. Leonard is all fucked up. And Dave is still playing gigs with a bunch of young dudes playing.
Yep. That's how it goes, 30 years later.
Yeah, I'll show you. You want to see what he's like now live? I'll show you what he is live with one of their biggest songs. Hold on, it's called Believe in You. And hang on. I'll just skip right to the I'll hang on a second. I'll just skip right to the just before the lead so we don't have to sit there. Because it's a fucking like a 20-minute song or whatever. It's 10 minutes long. But let's check them out and see. So this is him with all his new dudes in the band. See them all. And let me just point out, that's how you know you're fucking getting old. When the bands that you used to go jam to, there's only one dude original in there, or it's like the second cousin of the dude. Hurry up.
Yep.
Look at this, man. Look at all these guys. They're all like half his age. Here we go.
You came to me with your love to share. You show me always there. And baby, you'll be right there.
doesn't look too bad. I mean, he doesn't look bad. I mean, you know, for his age, he doesn't look bad. Now he's like 10 years older than me, man. So, or 7 or 8 years older than me. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't look too bad. But his face is kind of hanging like curtains there.
So is he probably pushing 60 now, somewhere around there?
No, he's older than that, man.
Oh, really?
He's got to be. You guys want me to play the whole thing or just skip to the lead? I'll go up close to the lead. Here we go. His sound man should be shot, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just remember, baby, you remember when you hear me say, oh, it's true, I believe in you, yes, I believe in you.
I gotta turn it way down for right now. It's about to go into the lead. There it is, dude. Those days are gone. Yeah. When that dude's dead, it's over, man. You know, because that's like, you know, I mean, it's interesting just to see like these different bands, how they ended up, you know, after the end of their careers and shit. Because you look at these dudes, I mean, you look at like guys like this, Motley Crue, you look at guys like Huey Lewis and the News and all these dudes from the 80s. Like, look at Motley Crue, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
I'm just
big fat Vince.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just saying the whole, like their drug problems and everything, and it's just major fucking shit around all of these dudes. You know, a lot of them, it's amazing that they're even still alive at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, that could be said for a lot of people that from that time.
Well, I mean, just I feel so grateful and lucky have been alive and at the time that I was, and be able to see everything I've seen, and because I swear to God, I mean, there's no way that you can ever tell people what it's like to be involved with something like that, like a show with a band that's popular and big, and the crowd, you know, and everybody's showing up and everybody's excited, you know, and it's just the whole thing is just it's just like this. And to live a life where that's what you do night after night after night, and every single night, every single day is like a fucking adventure, man.
Yeah.
Every show is different. You know, yeah, he plays that song, and yeah, the lead does this and the lead does that, but one night he just does something that night, you know, and you were there that night, you know, and it's all unique. It's different every time, you know. It's to be a part of that magic. People, I mean, you know, to set it up and tear it down and fucking move on, go to the next town. Same thing, show up, go to your hotel, go to the club, check it out, go get something to eat, sound check, you know, boom, big show that night, big event. All day long, it's just mellow, kicking back hungry, you're just going around, hey, let's go check this town out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, during the day, it's nice, you know, then it depends on how you're doing it, you know, showtime, you know, you might drive like 12 hours to get someplace, you know, roll in, unload, eat a quick meal, set up, sound check, you know, and then you got like an hour to go to the hotel, take a shower, and then get back to the gig to actually play, you know, and then you're there till 4 in the morning. Then you get up at like 7 or 8 the next morning and roll out to the next one, you know. So sometimes you got lucky, you got to, you know, get a few days off someplace really cool, or, you know, like we had one time we went to Paris, we were there. We had 8 days off in a row in Paris. I mean, that was great. We just kind of wandered around, did the hotel, you know, did the museums and checked out the cathedrals, and, you know, just kind of explored the town. But, you know, so other nights you don't get to do that, you know. There's a lot of work involved too.
Yeah, man. Imagine being that dude too. Imagine being that guy, and you used to play in front of thousands and thousands of people. You know, and now you're sitting there and you're back to where you were originally, playing in front of 1,500 people.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys that ended up like that. You know, there used to be a cool club in New Jersey here. It's gone now, but it was called the Birch Hill Inn, and it probably held, I don't know, 500 people, maybe 800 people. You know, which is a fairly decent sized club, but you know, there was a point, like, you know, that's where Joan Jett was playing, that's where Dokken was playing, that's where Bad Religion was playing. You know, all those bands that were, you know, arena level in the mid 80s, you know, by the mid 90s they were relegated to that. I mean, and it was still cool. They still put on a great show, and, you know, everybody was having a good time, but, you know, there's a big difference between, you know, 500 people and 50,000 people.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean, Dokken played at our club, so did Joan Jett. I had no idea Joan Jett was a lesbian back then either. It's like, 'cause
really?
it wasn't even like really in anybody's consciousness, that whole thing.
Well, that's true. Actually, I got to meet her a couple times because the drummer from our band knew the drummer from her band. They were buddies.
You know what's funny is when she was playing the night she played at the club, I was working the rope, so I was the backstage rope, and there was this blonde girl there. You know, she's about 5'2", 5'3", super cute. She almost looked like Joan Jett, but more feminine. You know, she had nice big puffy lips. She was a really cute looking girl. You know, and all night long I was shooting her looks, and she was shooting looks back at me and shit. And I thought she was interested in me, and it turned out, man, you know, I wasn't hip to it at the time, but in retrospect, she was definitely Joan Jett's girlfriend. So,
Oh, yeah.
So I had no chance with her, man. But I was sitting there thinking that, you know, she was shooting me looks or whatever. It was funny. Anyway, you want to get out of here?
Yeah, yeah.
All
You know, but before we do, I got a Joan Jetty for you.
All right.
I was doing a car show with my buddy down in Englishtown, and we ended up going to the Stone Pony over in Asbury Park because Joan was playing there, and it was the night that Joey Ramone died. And she actually was the one. She came up and saw us and said hi. You know, she recognized us or whatever, and started talking to us. And she's the one who told me that, you know, Joey Ramone died today. And I said, oh yeah, that's, you know, we were talking a little bit about it. And she says, I was thinking I should play some Joey songs tonight. What do you think? I said, oh yeah, sure, you definitely should. And she said, well, how many? I said, well, why don't you do the whole first set? And she's like, okay. I did. She played the whole first set, all Joey Ramone songs.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Stone Pony that night.
Yeah, I was running the kitchen when Dawkins played, and so I was feeding him dinner and stuff. And whenever there was a big show, I'd have all the guys in my band come down and work at the kitchen with me, you know. And then you know, we just sit there and make a bunch of money and just, you know, hang out. And so Dawkins was playing. I had the guys come down, and then so we hit it off with Don Dawkins. You know, we cooked.
Oh yeah, he's a real cool dude.
Yeah, we cooked him dinner and shit, and then he's like, "Hey man, we're having they were having a party, so we went over there after the show, and you know, it was like that all the time, man. We went out and partied with people, and so we ended up going to this party, and we got super drunk, and we ended up meeting some people at the party and taking them back to my buddy's house, and I can't get into the rest of it because it's a little too. It's not anything I want to talk about.
Well, I got ditched by a girl at a Don Dawkins show. I went down with her to see the show. There again, it was at the Birch Hill Inn in New Jersey, and we were right up against the fence, like, which, you know, there's like a 3-foot border between the stage and the crowd, and we were right up against the fence there. And Don's coming over and, you know, shaking hands with the crowd at the beginning of the show, and he high fives me and says, "Hey, what's up, man? It's good to see you." And he looks at her, and he kind of gives her like the blow off, like, you know, the diss face, because the whole ride down she was calling him, driving him nuts. So, you know, the show goes on, and I'm sitting there going, where'd she go, man? Where'd she go? She just like got up and left the show and left me there. You know, I mean, it was a good thing I had other friends there. I ended up riding home in the trunk of somebody's car because I had no other way to get home. But, you know, but after the show, I was talking to him, and he goes, "Dude, what are you doing hanging out with that chick? She's nuts, man. Get away from her."
Man, one night I was sitting there. George Thorogood was playing, and I was working security that night, and there was this. You know, I was talking to this woman that I met during the show, and, you know, so the show's going on, and there's 3 bands or whatever, so you're seeing this person over a period of time, you know, it's because I'm walking around and, you know, keep bumping into this girl, you know, this woman. So anyways, I thought we hit it off and this and that, you know, so there was a vibe or whatever, and then here comes George Thorogood on, and his sax player, he had a really good sax player. And this chick was totally into that sax player, man. And old Jimmy didn't get to meet her that night. She went home with the sax player.
I don't think I ever met Thorogood.
I met him a bunch of times, man. He used to come into the club and pour beer. One night he did 2 shows, one at 9 and one at 11. But it was really 12, you know what I mean? But and then loaded out, and I was laying on the back, in the back loadout area. I was laying on the back thing. All of a sudden, I hear this noise coming down the hall, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, and the club's closed and it's totally dark. And I'm laying in the backstage. Hear this click, clack, and I look down. I'm laying there, and I look down, and I see these snakeskin boots. You know, I look and I look up, and he's standing there. He's got these python boots on, python jacket, a 6-pack of Heineken under his arm, and a fucking big cigar. And he like hands me a Heineken as he walks.
Nice.
As he walks by and goes into the back, in the back where they had literally, this is back in the day, so that everything was cash, man. In the club, on a night like George Thorogood, 2 shows. I'm telling you, the desk in the back room of this nightclub was literally fucking piled 2-3 feet high with cash, man. And everybody would be back there counting everything, putting in stacks. So you can only imagine, man, what was going on at that club, man.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I can't say anything on air about it, but no, this has been fun. Dude, we should do like a music show just on Sundays, man. Just talk about music.
Yeah, we could do that.
I think we should do it.
Why not?
Yeah, because
get our minds off of the rabbit holes.
Yeah, we got to do something else, man. Like we said a long time ago, man. Come out of the rabbit hole.
Yeah, definitely.
Come away, step away from the rabbit hole.
Step away from the rabbit hole. It's good to ease your mind sometimes.
All right. Let's see if we can get away with this.
Thank you.
See if I can get it sounding good. It's live.
Now the seats are all empty. Let the roadies take the stage. Pack it up and tear it down. They're the first to come and the last to leave. Working for that minimum wage. They'll set it up in another town. Tonight the people were so fine. They waited there in line. When they got up on their feet, they made the show. And that was sweet. But I can hear the sound of slamming doors and folding chairs. And that's a sound they'll never know.
Let me just say, I've seen this live. I've witnessed Jackson Browne in concert. What about you, Rio? You see Jackson?
No, I don't think I've ever seen him live. I am familiar with this live cut, though. I've heard this before.
Oh, man.
And I tell you what, man, it's a true story.
It is a true story, and I'm telling you right now, man, I mean, there isn't anyone like this anymore. I'm literally about to cry, man. Seriously. Just,
Yeah, man, it is. That's what life was, man. I spent 8 years doing that life, so,
Nah, just, it just hurts me, man, the way things are.
Roll them cases out and lift them amps. Haul them trusses down and get them up in ramps. when it comes to moving me, you know you guys are the champs. When that last guitar's been packed away, you know I still wanna play. So just make sure you got it all set to go before you come for this piano. But the band's on the bus and they're ready to go. We gotta drive all night and do a show in Chicago or Detroit, I don't know. We do so many shows in a row, and these towns all look the same. We just pass the time in our hotel rooms and wander around backstage till those lights come up and we hear that crowd and we remember why we came. Country and western on the bus, R&B. We got disco, it's 8 tracks and cassette.
This is a song. This is a very. I started to say this is a really old song, but it's not that old, but it's about something that happened a long time ago. The song's maybe 10 years old, but it's about a time that I went through about 20 years ago. Is it true that you're all from the station here? Are you all from the... No? Ah. They lied. This is called In the Shape of a Heart. Was a ruby that she wore on a chain around her neck, in the shape of a heart, in the shape of a heart. Was a time I won't forget, or the sorrow and regret, in the shape of a heart, in the shape of a heart. I guess I never knew what she was talking about. I guess I never knew what she was living without. People speak of love, don't know what they're thinking of. Wait around for the one if it's just like a glove. Speak in terms of a life and the... Sorry, I guess this will be done. We'll do this one 1.5 times. That was the head. It's all right. Was the ruby that she wore on a chain around her neck in the shape of a heart, in the shape of a heart? Was it time I won't forget, or the sorrow and regret, and the shape of a heart, and the shape of a heart? I guess I never knew what she was talking about. I guess I never knew what she was living without. People speak of love, don't know what they're thinking of. Wait around for the one who puts you back a glove. Speak in terms of belief and belonging. Try to find some word for the longing. People speak of love. Was a hole left in the wall from some ancient fight about the size of a fist. Something thrown at her neck. There were other holes as well in that house where our nights fell. Far too many to repair in the time that we were there. People speak of love, don't know what they're thinking of. Reach out to each other through the push and shove. Speak in terms of life and the learning. Try to find some word for the burning. Keep it up, you try so hard to keep the life from coming apart. You never know what breaches and faults are concealed in the shape of a heart, in the shape of a heart. In the shape of a heart.
Thursday afternoon, you cast a shadow around my room. The breeze moved the curtains and lifted my perfume into the air, and danced with lazy curls in your hair. The sun was in the sky like pink champagne, and it glistened across my face like the air of December. I swear I remember it that way. I swear I remember it that way. I swear I remember it. Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you? Stood by the lake, I wanted to take you for granted. The grass was thin and high, the water mirrored tiny sparkles to the sky. I remember you, put a chill across my face like the air of December. I swear I remember it that way. I swear I remember it that way. I swear I remember it. What does it say? Diving in the shallow end, you'll never be yourself again. Never will be what you were, and all at once you never will be. Where are you now? By myself, mornings the birds wind chime, the tree limbs crackle and the sunshine climbs up the sky like pink champagne that glistened in your eyes all day. The sparkle in your eyes all day. The twinkle in your eyes all day. I remember you, put a chill across my face like the air of December. I swear I
So I'm playing this because it's the anniversary of that's Deborah Jean Dietrich, and that was my that's my lady, and so anniversary day.
philosophy is to talk on cereal box religion. Is a smile on a doll. I'm not aware of too many things. I know it, I know if you know what I mean. To do you choke me in the shallow water before I get too deep. What I am is what I am, you what you are or what? What I am is what I am, you what you are or oh, I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know if you know what I mean. Philosophy is a walk on the slippery rocks. maiden fair? Isn't there a kitten stuck up a tree somewhere? I am not an angry girl, but it seems like I've got everyone fooled. Every time I say something they find hard to hear, they chalk it up to my anger and never to their own fear. Imagine you're a girl just trying to finally come clean, knowing full well they prefer you were dirty and smiling. And I am sorry, but I am not a maiden fair, and I am not a kitten stuck up a tree somewhere. And generally my generation wouldn't be caught dead working for the man. And generally I agree with them. Trouble is you gotta have yourself an alternate plan. And I have earned my disillusionment. I have been working all of my life, and I am a patriot. I have been fighting the good fight. And what if there are no damn?
faces, then I get afraid of what that could bring. I got a bowling ball in my stomach, I got a desert in my mouth. Figures that my courage would choose to sell out now. I've been looking for a savior in these dirty streets, looking for a savior beneath these dirty sheets. I've been raising up my hands, drop another nail in, just what God needs. One more victim. Why do we crucify ourselves every day? I crucify myself. Nothing to do is good enough for you. I crucify myself every day. I crucify myself. My heart is sick of being, I said my heart is sick of being in chains. suffering so that I can have my cross and a cat named Easter. Never was a cornflake girl. Thought that was a good solution, hanging with the raisin girls. She's gone to the other side, giving us a yo-heave-ho. Things are getting kind of gross, and I go at sleepy time. This is not really, this is not really happening. You bet your life it is. You bet your life it is. Honey, you bet your life. It's a peel out the watchword, just peel out the watchword.
All right. Well, I can talk now. But yeah. So it's the anniversary of her passing away. And 10 years later, she died of brain cancer. So she had a backache, and so she went to the. I took her to the doctors. She was into holistic medicine and this and that. So she was having these headaches and these back problems. She was going to the chiropractor. He told her she hurt her back on the because we had gone to the to this amusement park. So basically, she was going to this chiropractor, and he was telling her, that she got whiplash on the roller coaster, and so she just needed to keep coming back and getting some adjustments, and to make the headaches go away. But the headaches didn't go away, and eventually she went to an acupuncturist, and the acupuncturist told her she should go to the doctor because he noticed something. So she went to the doctors. She made the appointment to go to the doctors. I took her to the doctors. I drove her there. The day that I drove her there, I had a big, giant 4-wheel drive truck. It was a Blazer, 36-inch tire, 6-inch lift. So I drove her to the doctors. The reason I'm telling you that is because the truck was 3 feet off the ground. And so we drove to the doctors. I got her to the doctor's office. We pulled into the parking space, and then she projectile vomited all over my windshield. And I had to basically carry her into the doctor's office. And I put her in the, on the table or whatever. And so we were in there. The doctor came in and sent her immediately to the hospital for CAT scans. So she went to the hospital for CAT scans, and she had 4 brain tumors in the middle of her brain. So anyway, I don't want to get into it too deep, but the bottom line is, she was gone pretty quick. So, and then, so yeah, it was a rough period of time to get through. What happened to me. I mean, personally, just from the personal loss, because, we were 2 peas in a pod kind of a thing. And so it was really hard for me to get over that feeling of loss, but everybody has to do what they got to do. So I lived in the redwoods for like 3 years straight and just sat there. Basically just worked here and there enough to pay my rent, but I basically just read books and, tried to, get a handle on myself, and I did, and 10 years later, though, I ended up getting cancer. Almost, pretty much to the day, not to the day, but in the same period of time, the holidays is when I found out, it was right around the holidays. So it's interesting too, because I originally got clean and sober right on the holidays also. Originally, when I quit drinking and doing drugs, it was it was right at Thanksgiving. So it was always hard at Thanksgiving for me because I couldn't drink, and everybody's always having a good time. So, yeah. So, anyways, I made it through it, and I had stage 4 lymphoma, and I had to go through 16 weeks of chemotherapy and 5.5 weeks of radiation every single day, and that was in 2006. So I'm still here. It's 13 or 14 years later. I don't really go and do anything about anything, so I don't go anywhere to see anybody about anything. I got my bill of health, clean bill of health from the doctor, and I fucking said see you later, and I never went back. So here I am. And so with that, I think it's going to be time for me to get on out. I've done a show about what happened before. I've told the whole story about it. Not because I want to tell the story, but just because to let other people know, that it's possible to go through something like that and be able to get through it. So, I mean, I've talked about it in pieces at certain times, on the air. Not necessarily because I want to talk about it, but because I talk about it in a place where people can hear it, then maybe it'll help somebody at some point or whatever to know that, you can make it through something like that. You make it through the cancer that I went through. It's not a death sentence. Maybe you'll make it. Never give up hope and always stay grateful, man. And never ask God for anything. Only say thank you. That's what I've learned. All right. See you guys.
That's when the energy comes.